sometimes life makes you just want to let out a big, giant scream, ladies and gentlemen. And want a little context about that? I am not going to tell you at all, man. Anyways, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode Lucas E. Allen 1080 on YouTube and all audio platforms, Lucas E. Allen Show, which is LimitsCenter podcast for your Monday, April 27th of 2026. For you anything else, follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Lucas E. Allen 1018. Watching today's podcast on YouTube, hit the like button to today's podcast. Hit the subscribe button if you've done so already. Turn on the bell for your post notifications when it uploads to our YouTube channel. And always, feel free to leave a comment like my episode of your LimitsCenter podcast, your Monday, April 27th of 2026. Watch on Spotify, do the same thing, leave me a comment, and also a 5-star, rate me very nice, as well as say at least. So let's start the news, man. The pro wrestling world last 48 hours since the last time you guys for our LimitsCenter podcast for Friday, April 24th, 2026. Alright, let's discuss the news. So WWE Friday Night Smackdown was returned back to 2 hours. Which I like the move in hindsight, but will it a lick of a difference coming creative? Absolutely not. And what's with them freaking going back and forth 2 to 3 hours, man? Just fucking stupid if you ask me. Yeah, I'm cursing a lot. I'm not in a freaking mood today, honestly. Maybe discussing that. Also, some backstage news on WWE talent cuts. Also discussing that. Also, Kairi Sane's release causes heavy criticism, heavy frustration in WWE. Be discussing that. Also, Jordynne Grace is actually pushing to become the first ever Paul Heyman girl. Which I don't know if it's necessary, but still. We discuss. Now, also in Carmella, Corey Grace's wife, the former SmackDown Women's Champion, who should never been released in the first place, and notice her contract not renewed. Carmella teases a wrestling return as well. More importantly, probably an independent scene or even AEW to a point. Discuss it all in today's podcast. Glad you're joining me, because it's going to take your LimitsCenter podcast. Your Monday, April 27th, 2026. On today's podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Starting with, you guessed it, WWE Friday Night Smackdown is returning back to 2 hours. Friday Night Smackdown will be returning to its traditional 2-hour format in the coming weeks, according to Body Slam, with the decision coming from USA Network rather than WWE. Now, will this make a lick of a difference from creative? Obviously not. And it can make a lick of a difference, honestly, people. Granted, I prefer at 2 hours compared to 3 hours, absolutely. But this means me be better creative. And it can make a lick of a difference from the creative standpoint. It could be 2 hours, 3 hours, 1 hour, 50 hours. No, I don't want that, but still. It doesn't make it just bump saying this in context. It doesn't matter how many hours it is. The show still fucking sucks. And need to change the creatively better. Granted, was there stuff I liked on SmackDown this past week? Sure, the Cody Rhodes promo was pretty good. The breakout performance on the main roster debut for Fallon Fatal Influence, JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Laney Reed. I like that. What's that all about, though? Nothing's going to make a difference from Friday Night SmackDown. I mean, 2 hours, 3 hours, doesn't matter. Everything else, the show sucked on Friday night for the most part, minus also Tiffany Stratton and Julia. The show is still freaking terrible. Minus those 3 things, what is so good about the show? Nothing, to say the least. So I hope the guy that did this gets a change on about getting more better programming, but I highly doubt that'd be the case going forward, if you ask me. That's my thoughts on this for sure, if you ask me. Alright, backstage news on WWE talent cuts. TripleH and Nick Khan were the primary decision makers behind WWE's post-WrestleMania 42 cuts, according to Fightful Select, or Fightful in general. Gee, you don't say. People are blaming TKO. I blame both TKO and mainly, most importantly though, Triple H and Nick Khan. Maybe more importantly though, Triple H. Don't act like he's the only scapegoat in this. He's not. Did we blame Vince? Let's just read the report first, shall we though? Should we read the report? With TKO not the driving force behind the releases despite contrary speculation, Fightful reported that WWE Chief Content Officer Paul Levesque, WWE President Nick Khan, and other WWE talent relations were responsible for the decisions. Gee, you don't say. Who's been telling you that all this time? Me and our different content creators. This is dumbass IWC claims it's only TKO. TKO might give him like a number, honestly. It might give him a number. But that didn't mean that they're picking and choosing who to cut on. Ari Emanuel is not going to sit back behind the scenes and stuff in TKO and WWE, or the cut on or the Wyatt Six or Kairi Sane or with people like that. He's not going to be doing that. He don't care about that. He just probably gave a number about what Triple H and Nick Khan, people to release maybe. But don't act. Do we blame Vince McMahon for releasing talent back in like he was running creative? Why can we just put a blame on Triple H too? He is not he's not a scapegoat. He is a person to blame too. He's the main reason to blame, man. He's the main reason. What makes you think otherwise, people? What is so different between Vince McMahon and Triple H? Nothing. There is no difference. They both peacefully come from father-in-law and son-in-law. They're both the freaking same, people. Just one has sex allegations and the other one doesn't. That's all it is. They're both the freaking same when it comes to the creative lead standpoint and day-to-day operations. They're the same. It ain't just TKO. It ain't just Ari Emanuel. Right? He's someone to blame too, obviously. But Triple H is the main reason to blame here, people. You idiots are like, oh, it's TKO just to Kairi Sane, Wyatt Six, and other people got released like Aleister Black and Zelina Vega too. No, it's not just TKO. Don't act like Triple H is a scapegoat. He is not a scapegoat. He is the same. He's just as much to blame here, if not more so. He is the main person to blame here, people. When are you going to understand that? When you don't understand that, people, Triple H is just as guilty, and not more guilty, than TKO here. When you understand that, IWC. When you understand that, to say the least. That's my thoughts on this for sure, if you ask me. Moving on to Kairi Sane's release causes heavy criticism, heavy frustration too, within the WWE. Kairi Sane's release from WWE has generated significant frustration internally, with sources describe this decision as a shock given her involvement in an active storyline. Gee, you don't say. I'm not the only one to figure that out. According to Fightful Select, there is a ton of shock within WWE over Sane's departure, given her role in an ongoing program between Asuka and Io Sky. Her release before any meaningful payoff to the feud resulted in heavy frustration among those within the company. Every right to feel that way too. You can at least at minimum get Kairi Sane at least to finish off the story by turning on Asuka. And then you could, if you want to release her then. I'm not saying it's good either, but releasing a talent like Kairi Sane. But at minimum, you could at least have her finish the storyline. Triple H did not honestly want to do that, because he is stupid, honestly. Seriously, what are we freaking doing? You have Kairi Sane involved in the storyline, then you just want to cut her just like that and a snap of my finger? No, like I said the last segment, it's not a TKO thing. I mean, you're about blaming them definitely here. But they're not the main reason, it's Triple H. When are you idiots going to understand that? Why are you going to understand that? And you can't blame the company. You can't really blame TKO much. You can definitely blame TKO. And you definitely should to a point blame TKO. But the main reason is not TKO. The main reason is Triple H. He could have easily went for back for Kairi Sane. He really could have. As well as also keeping her at the same time. As she was involved in the storyline with Asuka and Io Sky. What is there to defend with Triple H here? And the locker room should be frustrated. I'll be frustrated after the reach of a talent like her. Who's freaking great at what she does. Just not giving her any freaking time to do so. Prove how great she really is. Just to be creative for you in 2026 in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen. When you all idiots going to understand that, probably never knowing you stubborn assholes, to say the least. That's my thoughts on this for sure, if you ask me, though. Moving on, Jordynne Grace is actively pushing to become the very first Paul Heyman girl. Which, honestly, I'm not a fan of at all, to a point. I'm a big fan of Jordynne Grace. But honestly, we don't need a Paul Heyman girl, honestly. We don't. At least not Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace is making a no secret of what she wants to from her WWE career, and she is going directly to the source to try to make it happen. Speaking of Aussie Heat PW, Grace revealed that she has been actively lobbying for WWE's ratings team for a Paul Heyman alignment, describing it as her dream scenario for the main roster. She says, and I quote, "I'm actively pushing for it. My dream is to be a big Paul Heyman girl, and the first ever Paul Heyman girl, so actively pushing for it. I'm messaging all the writers about it. All I need is someone like him, and I'll shoot straight to the top," Grace said. I don't know about that, Jordynne. I really don't know about the last part especially. Just because you align yourself with Paul Heyman doesn't mean you're going to race straight to the top of the totem pole, or straight to the top of women's wrestling. Man, Paul Heyman's a great figure, don't get me wrong. I'm just blaming creative here in TripleH and WWE. Would they allow it? It's a different story. And I probably doubt that allow it to be a Paul Heyman because they're both on different brands. Paul Heyman's on Raw, well, he's a manager, but still. And Jordynne Grace is on SmackDown. Wrestling main event stuff have now released Selena Vega. Company is fucking stupid, I know, people. But do I mind it? I don't know if I like this, though. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna like it, though. It could fit, honestly. But just thinking of potentially Jordynne Grace in the division makes me want to throw up. Because that is not the type of thing Jordynne Grace can use right now in the main roster. She's struggling to get TV time, bruh. And she just got healthy, last week or last month, something like that. Like, damn, I don't think she should be in a Paul Heyman role, honestly. She's a badass wrestler, like a Paul Heyman person would probably want. But does Paul Heyman really need a first ever Paul Heyman girl? I don't know about that, if you ask me. But that's my thoughts on this for sure. Ask me, I was basically the news I want to discuss it today on LimitsCenter, to say the least. And finally, everyone, for your LimitsCenter podcast for your Monday, April 27, 2026. Very woman I actually miss in professional wrestling. Carmella, I know it might be a hot take to some people. But Carmella of Corey Graves' wife, obviously, teases a wrestling return. Not for WWE, though. Carmella has hinted a potential turn to professional wrestling after taking an exception to what she described as a theft of her finisher on AEW Collision this week. Carmella reacted to her social media post after independent wrestler B3CCA, I think it's how I say that, used to what appeared to be a version of Carmella's Code of Silence submission against Chris Statlander on this week's episode of AEW Collision. Carmella did not mince words on her response. She says, and I quote, "There's just a difference between a homage and a theft. I didn't retire. I had 2 babies. I have to come back and show these bitches how it's really done," in Carmella wrote on social media. Now, I didn't know about this until literally this morning. I actually kind of like that, honestly. Oh, do I really care for a B3CCA and Carmella feud on maybe AEW television? No, and Collision especially not. But honestly, I miss Mella in wrestling. Mella, I feel, was very underrated for what she was on the WWE main roster. Was I a fan of her at first when she got to SmackDown? No. But like more stages, like maybe late in her WWE run, I started becoming more of a fan towards her. And I felt she improved a lot, man. I felt she improved a lot in the ring, honestly. She always had a very good promo, too, to a point, too. And I kind of miss Mella. I think she's very good for what she was. Especially on WWE television, could he have 2 mid-card titles, women's IC and women's US titles. But Mella could at least been a contender for one of those titles, but he opted to release her because she was ended up getting pregnant, I guess, whatever. Just to be for you in 2026 in a nutshell. For a couple of years before either that too, not a bad year, that was definitely bad too. Honestly, I miss Carmella in professional wrestling. I think she was very good for what she was. More fans towards her late runs and stuff like that, but still, I think she's very money, as she likes to say, Mella is money. I thought she was very gorgeous. She's a beautiful woman too, obviously. Still to this day, when we having 2 kids and stuff like that, she's very good still in the ring. So I hope to see her back on maybe an AEW television. Could definitely be a case. Maybe she becomes a TBS champion one day. I don't mind that, honestly, to say the least. That's my thoughts on this for sure. If you ask me, kind of a quick LimitsCenter podcast. On Spotify, would be less than 15 minutes the time I was recording right now. Maybe it'd be 15 minutes so I'm done with this. And on YouTube, it'd probably be like 16 and a half or something like that, to say the least. That is your LimitsCenter podcast, your Monday, April 27th, 2026 to say. It's going to get all the news out there or professional wrestling to say at least. As always, let me know in the comment section when you think this podcast to say at least, your LimitsCenter podcast for April 27th, 2026. And always hit the like button, subscribe button if you're on YouTube if you haven't done so already, and turn the bell for your post notifications and uploads to our YouTube channel. And always, if you're watching on Spotify, don't forget to hit the 5-star rating, and also comment on Spotify for true to say at least. And always, until next time, and trust me, definitely next time, everybody, hopefully stay, knock on wood. For more content, I want to do like predicting the WWE Backlash card for 2026, honestly. And there are different uploads to Sally's throughout the day to Sally's on YouTube and Spotify. Anyways, until next time, and trust me, definitely me next time, everybody. Peace and love, I'm out here. Love you all big time to say at least.